Welcome back. We do hope that you're finding value in the networking and breakout sessions. There are more of those to come. Now something we've been looking forward to all day. And for that, I turn once again to MassBio President and CEO Bob Coughlin. Bob?
Thanks, Mike. We all remember the late Henri Termeer, the Dutch entrepreneur who blazed biotech trails at Genzyme. He had a vision we are still following today, and it's in his enduring spirit we present our annual Innovative Leadership Award. It honors someone who has contributed significantly to the success and growth of the life sciences in Massachusetts, is a leader in their community, and a leader for employees. This year, a woman whose influence and accomplishments exceed those criteria in every way, Abbie Celniker. Abbie has long been a fixture in the life sciences industry in Massachusetts. She helped launch and grow several companies over her career and made an incredible impact in bringing new therapies to patients in need. Abbie did this as a female CEO in a field that's historically male-dominated. And that experience led to Abbie's indelible contribution to our industry. During her 2-year term as chair of the MassBio Board of Directors, she launched the first real effort to close the gender and diversity gap in the life sciences industry. She was the catalyst behind MassBio's diversity and inclusion initiative. She helped MassBio establish best practices, getting buy-in from the top and collecting data from employers and employees about why women are not advancing at the same rate as men. This initiative set the pace and tone for inclusion in the biotech community through advocacy, outreach, and education. Abbie, a profound thank you. We are better as an industry because of you. So, for your lasting impact on women and on our industry, it's a great honor for me to present you with MassBio's 2020 Henri A. Termeer Innovative Leadership Award.
Thank you, Bob. Thanks to the MassBio board and the MassBio team for this amazing award. It's a thrill to have this opportunity and to actually share my thoughts on innovation and receiving this award. This is an innovation award that I share with our whole community and beyond. In these crazy times of COVID, we are seeing unprecedented collaboration and innovation in the development of therapies, vaccines, patient management, testing, and at least 30,000 different ways to make and wear a mask. We're living on Zoom platforms like this one, but even those are quickly adjusting to accommodate the different uses such as schools, government, retail, and investors. I could go on, but the real point of this is we are in a time of radical innovation. And while it's a crazy time and we're sad about a lot of things that are happening, it's also memorable because of the amazing things that are coming out of it. Everyone in our ecosystem innovates. That's just what we do. We innovate around what we work on, how we work on it, how we build facilities, how we hire our talent, how we work with regulators, patients, and providers. Innovation comes in different shapes and sizes, and it actually even has different names. There's incremental innovation when you make an improvement on an existing technology. There's innovation around access and reach. There's disruptive innovation when you really bring a new technology to bear to a problem. And there's radical innovation when we really break the mold and push new frontiers with new technologies. In our local ecosystem, we innovate in a bunch of different settings. Academia has always been a setting for key innovation, and our companies have the opportunity to partner with academia to bring medicines to patients. Some of the companies that we have are large, some are small, some are startups, some are even in the venture capital setting. When I was in school, I didn't realize that what I was looking for was an opportunity to innovate. What I had was a mantra that I followed, and it was never miss an opportunity to make a difference in a person's life. I found innovation in making medicines as an answer to that mantra, the ability to make a difference in patients' lives and have a lot of fun at the same time. After graduate school, I found myself at Genentech. I was there for about 7 years. I had the great good fortune to work on a number of drugs that are either already approved or were going to be approved and making a difference in patients' lives. I worked on growth hormone, which really had an urgent need to be developed because the viruses that were contaminating the natural tissue where growth hormone had previously been purified from were making it so that patients couldn't get their drugs. Recombinant DNA technology came rushing in, and patients were able to see a therapy quickly. My first aspect of the project was working on neutralizing antibody responses. These are when antibodies stop a drug from working. In those days, we could actually know the names of the patients who were getting the drug, and we were following one patient named Donnie who developed an antibody response. We wanted Donnie to be able to keep growing. We found solutions for how to manage the antibody response, and Donnie was able to reach his complete height. When there's a face and name that you can connect to a product, I mean, it's touching. It's really memorable. In 1994, I moved to Genetics Institute. This brought me to the Boston, Cambridge community and changed my life. And it's been such a ride and such a privilege to be here. I had more opportunities at GI to work on drugs that were going to change the lives of children and adults. Working on the hemophilia factors, both factor 8 and factor 9, was an amazing experience. These drugs from plasma were being rationed because of HIV contamination. Patients couldn't be treated. Recombinant DNA technology came in, and we were able to find a lot of different approaches for making these drugs, solving problems that couldn't be solved. We knew how the biology of these drugs worked, but it was really hard to make them. And therefore, that's where the focus was. And that's where the radical and disruptive innovation came in. Children were able to be treated prophylactically and not just when they had bleeds. It was a great opportunity. Risk is the underbelly of innovation. Great ideas can fall to the fear of risk or the fear of failure. Sometimes things just don't work. I mean, we all know this. This is what we find. That's when we need to arm ourselves with resilience and surround ourselves by people who know how to manage risk. They also sometimes need to be people who know how to carefully break the rules. I moved to Millennium in 2001, right before 9/11. This was a crazy time again, but patients still had great needs. Millennium changed the way drug discovery was done and shone a light on the power of genetics for picking targets. While most of the company was focused on the development of Velcade for multiple myeloma and lymphoma, there was a small team at Millennium that kept working on a monoclonal antibody for the treatment of inflammatory bowel disease. This poor antibody was like a foster child. It was sent from home to home. It started at Leukocyte, it went to Genentech, it came back to Millennium, and then went to Takeda. Everybody who wanted to work on it kept getting told too hard. It's going to take too long. We're going to have too much trouble with the regulators who have perceived safety risks. We kept working, we kept pushing, and today that drug is vedolizumab. Or if you watch television, you see the commercials for Entyvio. This is a game-changing blockbuster drug that was literally just moments from being shelved. Tenacity, resilience, and teamwork, lots and lots of teamwork, brought that drug to the market. In 2007, Mark Levin, Kevin Starr, and Bob Tepper started Third Rock Ventures to make sure that disruptive and radical innovation would continue to see generous capital investments in order to make sure that patients' needs were met. More than 10 first-of-their-kind products have come out of the companies created by TRV in collaboration with the world's most innovative academics. I was the CEO for one of TRV's portfolio companies for 6 years, and for the last 5 years, I've had the privilege of being a partner at TRV. At TRV, we get to see firsthand how company creation requires diversity. Diversity of thought, diversity of experience, and diversity of opinions. We call this group genius. We also see that we're not doing enough to remove the impediments that stand in the way of building teams that have enough of this diversity. This is a challenge to everyone in this virtual room. We're all responsible for this. We as an industry need radical and disruptive innovation to open the doors to people of color, people from diverse backgrounds and geographies, people whose orientations provide them with experience that we could all benefit from. And of course, gender is part of this too. Today, more than ever, we must expand our minds and our hearts and make moves that change the landscape to one that is more inclusive and equitable. Pioneers of our industry drove disruptive innovation. They acted like a village to drive acceptance of radical new ideas. To be recognized with an award bearing Henri Termeer's name is such an honor, it's very difficult for me to put it into words. Henri and many of his pioneering peers mentored and encouraged people to innovate. They created a paradigm that translated into the amazing biotech community that we're all a part of. They passed their torches to us, and it's all of our jobs to make sure that we cultivate a community filled with people who we can pass our torches to. Keep it top of mind. Network with somebody new. Look into internship programs that create access for people of color or different socioeconomic means. Get out of your comfort zone. Innovate radically and constructively be disruptive. Robert Frost has attributed the following quote: "Two roads diverged in a wood. I took the one less traveled by, and it has made all of the difference." Once again, thank you, Bob. Thanks to the MassBio board and to the amazing MassBio team for this award. Be brave, take risk, make a difference. Thanks very much.